Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. We have Snapshot 19w38a and this one comes with bug fixes, technical changes and apparently some changes to the rendering system as well. This may mean some increased performance, but it doesn't really hint at that. Anyway, there is a whole bunch of technical stuff here you can see that's been added into the game. We're going to get to that later on. First of all, we're going to jump into the bug fixes and talk about the most crucial ones. First of all, I'm going to interrupt with a little bit of Minecraft news. Minecon Live is coming up real soon, and there's going to be another biome vote where us, the players, will be able to pick which biome is going to get updated next. The choices are the Badlands, the swamps, and the mountains. And this little bit of news came with no preview as for what they're planning to show, but I'm sure we're going to learn something about that real soon before Minecon Live. And if you're wondering about last year's vote, the Savannah and the Desert lost out. However, they announced they would update those biomes, and apparently that is still true. They have plans to update them, but no time frame. And I don't know if this biome is going to be updated for 1.15, but my suspicion is that it will be for the next update of Minecraft. And I know some of you are going to be commenting it down below, so yes, there was also a B snapshot released, and this just had one critical bug fix that needed taking care of. So anyway, let's jump into the bug fixes from 38A. 3 of these bugs are related to the Pillager, so if you settle down near an outpost and maybe your world isn't performing too well, this snapshot might fix some things. You see, the Pillagers could be responsible for large lag spikes, and there was also another bug that stopped them from despawning, so those two things together are obviously bad news. The third bug is related to this sound effect. That is the raid horn, and it plays when a raid starts. And this would actually happen universally across the server. If you started a raid, perhaps in a village, someone somewhere else in a village far away would hear it as well. And my raid farm, my emerald farm, as I like to call it, on the Hermitcraft server has been culprit of this for a while, so I had to be careful when I would use the farm as to not annoy other players that were in a village. And it's good to know this one has been patched. So now you're only going to hear this sound in the village where the raid is actually happening. There's been a change to the fire damage game rule, which is currently turned off in this world, so I can set myself on fire and not take any damage, and the magma block was included now as part of this. So in the previous snapshot this would have done damage to you, but with this game rule it now won't do any. And when placing these blocks down in this world, I think I spotted one of the changes in the visual look of the game. The black outline around the block seems to be far more visible to me. I don't know if you'd see it quite the same way because you're watching this on a YouTube video, but it is there alright. Look at that. That's definitely a lot clearer, and do you know what? I actually really like that. I think that's a good change. So here I am checking it in 1.14, and I can say that yeah, it's clearly a little bit sharper and a little bit darker in the new snapshot. Not the biggest of differences, but I think I've spotted some sort of optical illusion or maybe a bug. Is it me? Is this wall brighter when we look at it on this axis than this axis over here? You know? It looks brighter this way to me. And so back in the latest snapshot, this same kind of optical illusion exists. I noticed that in the other update, the wall didn't look quite as bright. And it kind of seems like what axis you're looking at the wall on makes it brighter or not. That is really, really peculiar. Also, shulker boxes look really odd in the creative menu. Yeah, that's not correct at all, is it? A couple of old bugs related to the ender pearl have been patched. So this first one involves me throwing an ender pearl into an unloaded chunk. Now I've turned my render distance down to achieve that, and it does cause some sort of quirkiness with the pearl reappearing, but what would normally happen is the chunk would be loaded up and it would forget who threw the ender pearl, but the fix is of course that now it is going to remember. So when I head over in this direction, the ender pearl remembers that I threw it. The other similar bug simply involves logging out and then logging back in from your world or from a server, and that will cause the ender pearl to forget, but that is the other thing that's been fixed, so it's going to remember and teleport you. There is a nasty bug that I see all the time on the Hermitcraft server. You're travelling through the Nether in a boat, and when you hop out, your boat just disappears. Interestingly enough, that one is back over here where it started. We are in the latest snapshot, I assure you, and issues like that are supposed to be fixed. Look at this, maybe it isn't fixed. It's also supposed to apply to the horse, the mule, and the donkey. Let's hope this is just a one-off though. Apparently this is considered a bug, but too many particle effects coming from lily pads when you break it with a boat? So here's what it looks like now. Oh, barely anything. Barely anything at all. The really cool change to boats, though, is that when you exit them, they seem to put you on land. I've just kind of been moving around here, parking myself near to the edge, and I appear on top of the land here instead of on top of the boat. Yeah, so trying this out in 1.14, you can see, look, I exit straight onto the top of the boat. So that's not going to happen anymore. Now let's get to some of the technical stuff. First of all, we have data modify storage. This is like a new data point for MBT data. What map makers would normally do is store particular bits of information inside of an entity or a block, and now they'll just be able to store it at a single data point, and this can be used across dimensions, and it will persist between reloads. Now in the little setup that we got right here, we can actually dye a sheep and use it changing to write the information to this data point. So as you can see, the block and then the sign then changes. Now that happens because over here we have created a data point called map data, and then we can give it our own MBT data inside of it, and this one is called map color. And so what the command blocks are doing is simply reading the color of the sheep that we have over here. It can write it to that data point, and then other command blocks can use that data to change the wall and change the sign here. These new features will allow commands to interact with the player and the player's MBT data as well. And unfortunately there is a bug somewhere that seems to be stopping this from working, but the idea is if you kill the creeper with 0 or less than 100 levels, you wouldn't get any diamonds from them, and then if you had over 100 levels, you would get a diamond from them. And these commands can also detect what team we're on. So let's join the orange team and kill the zombie. Nothing happens. And then if we join the blue team and kill the zombie, you can see we get a diamond. There is also now a time check condition. This is really quite simple. You can now check what time of day it is. So for example, if we break this dirt block when it's nighttime, we get absolutely nothing. However, if it's daytime and we break it, we get ourselves a diamond. So those were just a couple of the new features added for map makers. This is all I've got time for though, so I'm wrapping it up right here. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like. It's most likely next week there won't be a snapshot. I'll also be on holiday as well, but I'll be back in time for Minecon, and I'll be making a video announcing what happens over there. Also, if you had a bit of deja vu with the thumbnail, I recycled an asset from the second channel, so I figured why don't I just link to that here in the end cards. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it. But anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.